Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
What's up,
going
guys?
up, y'all?
Episode 10.
Wow, this is a milestone, huh? We're in the
Double digits.
I was just gonna say that. What's next?
Triple digits. Episode 100.
That would be amazing.
We missed last week. We apologize. Really poor scheduling on our part. We're late this week.
Wait, hold on. Whose fault was it? Because I remember asking a couple times.
I asked you a couple times.
I asked every time.
It
I
has
asked
to
you,
be both our faults.
No, it was. You were like, "Oh, I got family over." I was like, "Oh." I think at one of those times.
No.
Like,
See, you think it's my fault. I think it's your fault. You say I have family over, but then I'm like, okay, but we'll do it at 11. But then you're sleeping, so it's both. You know.
Yeah, I disagree. I was up late.
You were in Florida, and then you're like, if I get Wi-Fi in the plane, you never called me.
I didn't get Wi-Fi on the plane.
All right.
United.
Whatever.
You have to pay for it.
So yeah, hopefully we'll last to the triple digits, 100 episodes. But this is episode 10.
All right, let's go right into it.
We got a lot to talk about. Big agenda.
All right, go. Tell me about your new business adventure. Wait, so is this in addition to the ones that we've talked about in the past?
Yeah.
Or is this kind of like an extension of
No,
what
it's
happened?
a new idea, and I might be able to do this one. Where the last one was like, oh, let's get into,
like
home
Etsy,
automation This one, there's no overhead, right? You could just do it online. It's just, I'm thinking of creating a site that hosts downloads that people want. Like, you're always going to this site to get the download. So if I can host it on my site, it's hard to explain because it's more of a tech thing, but it's another thing I'm thinking of getting into it. I think by not having overhead, it's better because you don't have to buy parts, you don't have to store them, you don't have to do anything with it. I've been too busy to even write it up or start it, but I think it's going to be a good idea. I think it'll last for a while. So.
Probably shouldn't take that long, right? I mean, if you already have all the content, you're talking about for the Fire Stick, right? Is one of them?
Yeah.
Or was I not supposed to say that? Shit. Other people can just take our idea and run with it now.
Yeah,
Well,
I just have a good idea about it, and I noticed there's a lot of traffic to it, so I said, could we do with all this traffic?
So, would one of those things be for example, hosting the live stream, the source for the live stream for, let's say, the Conor McGregor fight, the Mayweather fight?
I wouldn't
source
it, but let's say you did. Let's use that as an example. Even though
you
it's probably
would source
illegal.
the stream. You wouldn't source it because you don't have the source. You would source the stream, right? So you're basically being a bridge or the half middleman for that, right? Or
that's not what I'm saying, but let's use that as an example. That's going to bring in a lot of views. So using that to bring people in, bringing a lot of traffic to your site or to whatever you're doing, then turning that traffic into money, whether it be by ads or having an affiliate link or having them watch something that gets you paid. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. Just finding something that is very important to a lot of people that is going to generate traffic and then turning that into money. So I just been too busy to write something up. I'm sure it's my fault. I'm sure I could find time, but I've been...
Episode 11. We want details.
You want an update? Okay.
Yeah. All right. Next topic. I want to talk a little bit about fitness and the fitness industry because there's been some kind of riveting news, if you will. It's not riveting. It's news. Excuse me. So two things happened in fitness, which I'm not even sure if you know of them. Rich Piana. Did you do a little bit?
Two things I know. Gabe and Andrew competed, and they did very well.
Yeah. Two of our friends competed. I think Gabe, from what I'm understanding, he was one spot away from turning pro. He got third, and you have to be top 2 to turn pro. It's kind of funny though. He switched divisions because he was more into bodybuilding, and now
physique.
He recently did physique, which I think I don't know. I think he might be too big, but then again, he's too tall too. So kind of makes sense because when you're tall, it's hard to look muscular. So, but yeah, no, he looked great. So did Andrew. Andrew looks jacked. He's like going into what heavyweight now division.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. In any case, without going over details, let's kind of talk about the fitness industry in terms of like what happened and why it's become such like a big thing. So 2 deaths occurred within the past, I want to say about maybe 2 weeks ago. Rich Piana, he is this like massive bodybuilder / steroid advocate. Like he's big into steroids. He openly admits it. And he's done so many videos. He's gained millions of followers on Instagram, YouTube, and just basically talking about steroids. He talks about his cycles, what he does, and like he even does some stupid things. He's got this one video where he does like an 8-hour arm workout. Like he'll drink protein shakes in between. He just has an 8-hour arm workout. To another one where he talks about how
8 hours, like in one day.
Yeah. He specifically talks about how he does it and how the dude's got giant arms. He's massive. He did this other video where he justified how doing steroids is actually better. I don't know if I could say it because I don't know who's listening. So whoever's under the age of 18, earmuffs. But he talked about how like your balls, they shrink when you do steroids, but it looks better because who wants to have saggy balls? But anyway, he made a lot of great videos that was
he has
both
a big
informative
following
as well as educational, fun, and stuff like that. Anyway, he recently died. He's 46 years old, and
from all the steroids.
So that's what everybody thought, but no. I mean, I guess it might be somewhat related, but his girlfriend was cutting his hair. Okay? His girlfriend cuts his hair. And something happened, I guess, where he like fell backwards, and he fell, and she tried to catch him, but she couldn't because the dude's like 300 something pounds. He fell. And then
into the scissors?
No, it wasn't like, I think he just fell onto the floor. And then because of that, his brain started swelling, and so they had to medically induce him into a coma. And they did that for 2 weeks, and then after 2 weeks, they were like, listen, there's just no reviving him. They were just keeping him alive.
So, I mean, it wasn't like it was a drug overdose because he was getting his hair cut. So, I mean, what could it have been? The steroids, was there an autopsy?
No, so here's the funny thing. They did an investigation. The police found that there was like 20 bottles of steroids in his house. But we knew that. He openly admits that he does steroids. So that wasn't anything shocking or surprising. They also found a white substance. And it's like, oh, okay, it's probably coke, right? Well, his girlfriend made a video after he passed. And it was like, he apparently liked to snort pre-workout. Or at least that's what she said. I mean...
Well, explain pre-workout for people that don't know.
So pre-workout is kind of like, it's something that you would take beforehand, kind of like a strong cup of coffee that kind of gets your adrenaline going, and you get like really energetic.
You get a good pump, and you get more energy, right. You have a better workout. And it's usually powder form. You can put it into a drink, mix it with water, and you kind of drink it before you go, just like having a cup of coffee or something. So he wants to snort that
His
powder.
Girlfriend said that he snorts it because it gets it into the system quicker. So that was what supposedly happened. Anyway, so that was big news. Again, he was... I think he made a big contribution to kind of bring awareness to the bodybuilding industry and fitness industry as a whole. He had a lot of input, definitely a lot of motivation in terms of helping people. He inspired people, kind of created this concept of 5%ers. I don't know if you know what that is. It's his own company. He talked about he's like, no matter what you do, get to that exclusive level where you're at 5%, where like nobody else will. So the 8-hour arm workout or something, just like taking steroids or something like that.
Or dying at 46.
Dying at 46, but we don't know. I mean, I guess there's no way to really tell if what he died of was from like steroids or if it's steroid related.
Episode 11. Look for the autopsy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
It's got to do something to all your organs and internals. Like, it can't be like
he fell.
Totally good.
How is that?
Yeah, but how did he fall? He's getting a haircut. Like, I don't fall out of my chair when I get a haircut.
You fall walking. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's just a freak accident. That's what I think. But anyway, that's Rich Piana, and that's the story. But there was another shakeup, which happened to this guy named Dallas McCarver. I'm not sure if you know. Do you know who he is? So Dallas McCarver was this like super young bodybuilder. I think he died at 26, but he was like competing in like the teens, and he was pro. He was poised to be like the next, Olympian.
Jay Cutler?
Probably. Yeah, and he was a... Let me see if I could get a picture of him up. But yeah, he was ginormous, and so he died supposedly from choking. Oh yeah, all these two bodybuilders that died, they made TMZ. So that's kind of like a big deal. So apparently choking on food, but he was like 330 pounds at 26 years old. So that's sad because, the dude had a lot of potential in the bodybuilding world. And then that kind of raises the question of like, hey, was it really choking, or was it choking a result of something else? And I think his roommate or something like that said that he was also on insulin at the time. So like, yeah, did he die directly from it? Maybe not, but did the insulin, or the fact that he was 300 pounds, the fact that he had to eat probably every 2 hours, did that play a role? Probably, right?
Is this like the most dangerous sport in the world? All these people dying bodybuilding? Like more dangerous than like, I don't know.
I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger is alive.
Yeah.
Ronnie Coleman's alive. Jay Cutler's alive. They've made a tremendous amount of money. Fitness and bodybuilding itself has come a long way, and a lot of people are embrace it. The alpha mentality right now that exists. People are always in the gym now. Bro, do you even lift? So yeah, that's that. That's it for the update on fitness side of this podcast, which I'm sure everybody was thrilled to hear. Let's talk about the next thing. The Note 8.
You don't want to talk about your app?
I
think it's a good idea.
I'll spend a couple minutes, and again, I think it already exists, but we already know the challenges and limitations. So I guess this would have been better if I talked about it right after your business idea, because then we would have talked about my potential business idea, which is...
it's an app idea.
Right, but apps are like a multi-billion-dollar business right now. So anyway, this app that I thought about because I'm living in this particular situation, which is an app to kind of help couples that are separated, divorced, to communicate effectively, coordinate scheduling, anything.
Parent a child.
Yeah, it's a co-parenting app, I suppose. But it's going to be a challenge because just like anything else, right? Like when you sign up for an app, you do have to sign up for that app, whether it be using your Facebook login, Gmail, whatever else. And then that particular person, they have to embrace it. They have to use it. They have to like understand it, learn it. And that means it's another thing, right? That they have to kind of get used to. And so that in itself, if we're talking about co-parenting, it's already something of a challenge, right? Because you have two people that are trying to somewhat like come together and be on the same side, which is already tough. So, but I thought it'd be cool because I know that a lot of times with, let's say, basic things like, hey, my son needs to be picked up at this time, or maybe he's got change of clothes, or maybe you have his clothes, or maybe I have his clothes, things like that. Just basic communication that needs to be exchanged. It could be exchanged via text message, but I know what happens with text messaging. It doesn't get fully viewed, or it doesn't get returned at the same time. So I guess if I had to kind of think about this app and how it would work, is that this app would have to be something that you would go into on a regular basis and check. So maybe, I'm not saying like a social component, but definitely something that you would go in on a daily basis and check in on the status of like where you stand in terms of what needs to be done to move, I guess, to move forward with the next steps for your child, right? So it could be like, for example, Caden's going to start school, and what does he need? Does he have all the school supplies? Does he have enough clothes? Do we know when he needs to be picked up? Like, what about lunch? Like, there's so many aspects of it, and that's just within the next week or so. So, anyway,
But the problem is, I think it's a great idea. The problem is, how do you get the other person to use it? Because I'm noticing something right now myself. I'm doing a baby pool from one of our friends, and I'm a digital person. I'll put it up in the cloud, and I'll send people a link to add to it. I've noticed I'm getting a lot more responses when I printed it out and handed them the paper to fill it out.
But then you'd have to physically be there.
Right, but people today, even though it's so easy to do things with phones and technology, they still like the old school way. I know people that have, a GPS in their car, a GPS on their phone, and then that old school GPS you used to just attach to the window, and they're still printing out MapQuest directions. Like,
people that are printing out MapQuest?
Yes.
Wait, from MapQuest?
MapQuest, Google Maps, yeah.
I want to hear about the people that are specifically saying, "Oh, I have to find directions to let's say Starbucks. I'm going to go to MapQuest."
I don't understand it either. It's
I want to go to MapQuest.
It's not Starbucks. It's like, whatever they're trying to do out of state or something like that. Because I asked them why. You have all these things. It's going to reroute you. It's going to add traffic and stuff. Like, why print it out? They're like, because mentally I just like to know where I'm going.
They like to have something tangible that they can touch and feel.
So that we'll never understand, and that's what's gonna make your app a success. Like, to get those people, because as much as technologically advanced, society we are, there's still people that just can't get along with it. They can't get on board.
So what would we need to do to make it so that they could potentially get on board? I think it might be a sense of like literally having just like stupid easy icons, big icons like your schedule or your messages or something like that. Because once you get something that becomes like way customizable, because you know how like we have apps that are like, oh yeah, you can customize this, that, and the other, and then it becomes very confusing, right? Because there's so many instructions on what to do and how to do it and things like that. So maybe that's the key, is to kind of like use this app, specifically identify what needs to be done. So I think it would be like, let's say messages, so like easy communication back and forth, and then maybe just like a scheduling, and then maybe that's it. So just have those 2 or 3, options, and then have everybody be synced on it, and that's it. I don't know. It sounds like it's definitely a challenge, but I know something like that already exists, and I've already tried it, and it was like you have to sign up, and then you have to use their system, and you have to get used to their calendar, and then you integrate with the Gmail. So I could do it, but I know other people won't be as open, or even if they're open, they may not have the time to like dedicate to learning it, especially if they're not using like, let's say like a Gmail calendar or something like that already. So. All right, that is that. We're going to leave that because I don't know where there is to go with that other than to say that that's just an idea up in the air.
I think having ideas for apps are always good because everybody can have an idea, but getting people to use it, that's probably the hard part.
Yeah.
So next up, we've got the Note 8 Unveiling. Now, since we're like 2 weeks behind on this, that was a while ago, it's actually out. And I did an unboxing last night. It's uploaded on my channel, Random Tech T3K.
Wait, when is this podcast going up?
I'm going to probably put it up today because we're late.
Okay, so because it's going to be exciting because next week they're going to do the iPhone 8 announcement.
September 12th?
Yeah, September 12th. And we already basically know what the details of it are for the most part.
Bezel-less, no home button,
the latest technology. Yeah, there's
still no headphone jack.
I mean, I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be phenomenal.
He doesn't know what's in it, and he's like, it's awesome.
I already know.
Apple, take my money.
Yeah, basically. Well, the thing is, dude, they want so much more for this iPhone, but it goes to 512. No expandable memory. But I mean, do you really need to expand more than 512 gigs?
Well, why are they up to 512? Right? Because
for
when they did 64 and 128, those got filled up.
I know why. Because the speculation is that iPhone 8 is supposed to record in 4K at 60 frames a second.
Oh, finally.
What do you mean finally? Are you recording 4K at 60 frames a second right now? I don't think you are.
And we have a visitor.
We
have a special guest.
Wait, are you recording 4K?
No, I'm just saying.
Does your phone record 4K?
I'm saying
does your phone record 4K at 60 frames a second?
Which phone? I have two. One does and one doesn't.
You do?
4K, yeah.
At 60 frames a second?
I don't know about 60. I don't know what the specifics are. But what I meant was, why did previous phones, they would release like a 32 gig with 4K video? Because then you would record like a 2-minute video and that's it. You would fill it up.
Well, the reality of it is, I mean, I have 4K on my phone.
That's why now they have 512, so you can actually record a decent sized 4K video.
So it's like anything else, right? When you release a new product, you want to kind of set up different tiers for entry level, mid, and then maybe somebody that's more of a premium user. So I think that's what it is. But
this was supposed to be about the Note 8.
That's what I was just going to say. I was going to like, let's talk more about the Note 8 and how it sucks compared to... No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Talk.
Well, you know, it's very similar. It's pretty much an S8 with a stylus. A lot of people have been waiting. They love the stylus. You know, the Note 7 had some issues. Apparently, it was the best phone. Besides,
I heard it was fire.
It was the most fire phone ever. But I mean, I had the S8. I wasn't crazy about it, but it's pretty much an S8 with the pen. I myself am waiting for the Pixel 2. I had the Pixel 1, and it was great. So if you want to check out the unboxing, it's on my tech channel. Next week, we'll talk about the iPhone 8. And then I think the Pixel 2 comes out probably like October-ish. So there's a lot of good phones coming out.
It's exciting right now. It really is with technology. And I'm on the iPhone 7 Plus. Really looking forward to getting the iPhone 8 if I could somehow find a way to like upgrade it somehow. So
I have let's do a new segment here. We got some tweets because
we got tweets. Wait, is it from family and friends?
No, it's from like real fans. Like we don't know them at all. You know, we kept giving our Twitter handles, and they kept tweeting us what they want to hear.
Speaking of which, what is your Twitter handle?
If you guys don't know, my Twitter handle is Day, D-E-Y, call me Geo, G-E-O. So we got 2 questions here. Some Cat's Terab wants to know why I was unable to upload the podcast, even though I made the file smaller.
Wait, what?
So, you don't remember. I kind of remember. So one of the weeks, the podcast was uploaded late because, wow, this is a recurring theme. We're late. We miss out. But it was late because I was trying to upload it to our server, and the server was like
read
full.
That tweet over again. It sounded like she was trying to upload something, right? Is that what it said?
Why? No. They Call Me Geo was unable to upload the podcast.
Oh, she was asking you why
I was unable. Okay, even though I made it smaller, why didn't it still work?
That bandwidth issue, right?
Some kind of like the site was full bandwidth, this and that. The file was too large. Even though I made it smaller, it was already detecting like maybe the file name or the file itself. So I had to find a different way to do it. I had to use FTP and get it up and talk to our site administrator, you know, who is actually here, Smekaleki Ding Dong. So that's why it wouldn't upload. There was some error on the site, and I had to find a different way to get it uploaded.
Before you go into the next question, or tweet rather, let's take a quick minute to do an ad that is unpaid. But it's because it's actually more of a, I guess, a little bit of a FYI. Because I'm drinking this Vietnam coffee from Starbucks.
Me too, and
it's lit, right? I am straight up lit right now because this coffee. So just to let y'all know, Starbucks, if you go to Starbucks for coffee, only certain selective Starbucks will have it, and it's a Starbucks Reserve coffee. So what it is they import, or they, I guess, use different beans from select countries. The one that we're drinking right now, it's a Vietnam bean, I guess.
Yeah, he gave me some, and I'm wired right now.
I'm telling you, I'm
shaking.
Not even but no, doesn't it taste good too? It's like smooth. It's
but
smooth.
I wouldn't say like, oh my god, it's so good. But what I do like about it is that you can actually taste it. Like you go to some places and it's like watered down
like instant coffee. Yeah,
it's like watered down, and this you can actually like taste and
exactly.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So I'm a coffee snob, and I absolutely love this coffee. So anyway, back
All
to
right, next question we got from Lonely Mango. Hey guys, loving the podcast. Can you talk about your backup strategy on the next podcast? Thanks. I was like, backup? Like, yeah, if we don't record it, we'll have a backup one uploaded because we didn't record. No, that's not what he meant though.
I'm sure he's talking about like just basically how do you back up and
like
storage,
hard drive,
hard drives or media and stuff like that.
So I'll go. You want to go first?
No, you go first. I'm interested.
I always learn this rule. I don't go by it myself, but it should be one backup, obviously, in your computer, right? So you have one file.
Wait. Are you talking about just generally what people should do, or are you going to talk about what you actually do?
What I learned, and then I'm going to do what I actually do.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear it.
So one in your computer, right? Obviously, you have the file in your computer. One online, and then one as a cloud backup. So I kind of have a mix of all three. Got one on the computer. I have a Seagate 2 terabyte or 3 terabyte.
Do they make 3 terabyte drives?
Either it's a 2 terabyte and it's USB
4,
3.0. That's probably what it is. I have that as a portable hard drive, and then I use Google Drive as my cloud storage.
Okay.
And how I physically do it is I make folders. Kind of like if you ever watched that video by Casey Neistat, I kind of do it the same way. So I make years, right? So it's 2008, 2009, 2010. And then within the year, I do months. So I do January, February, March, April, May. And then within the month, I put it in. So my vlogs, for example, currently in August, I have 8 or 9 vlogs uploaded in there. And you go back. I know April, I did a 30-day challenge. I did 1 video a day. So I have 30 videos in my April 2017 folder. So I have that backed up on my Seagate storage hard drive, portable hard drive. I think it was like $60 from Costco, and you get a free protective case with it. It's USB 3.0. And then I have a Google Drive. I use 100 gigabytes. It's $199 a month. And I actually get it for free because I have an Android. I get a Google Opinion survey rewards. Every time I answer a survey, which takes me like 10 seconds, I get like 25 cents. So by the end of the month, I have a couple bucks.
Wait a second. You know what I just thought of? Why don't I get on a Google device?
Just do that. You can't be a Fire. It has to be like an actual an Android device. I don't think.
Yeah, but
Fire
I can get one for like $20 probably, and just
do it,
sign
and
up.
then you get a couple bucks. Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. I'm so committed to
But the things are
iOS.
too, it knows if you went somewhere. So it's like, oh, did you go to Target, or did you go to the Hilton,
but
whatever?
It'll be fine.
And then it'll ask you what was your experience. So if you're not bringing the phone with you, you're gonna get less surveys and stuff. You're not gonna bring it around just so you get 25 cents.
No. But I fly my drone regularly, so why not have that as a backup for when if this
you're gonna
battery
constantly feed Wi-Fi to it so it remembers and
yeah.
tracks
I mean that's not
everything
that difficult, right? I mean, for me, I already when I physically go out somewhere, I'm always traveling with like a drone, SLR, video camera, laptop.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to be hard. What I'm telling you is I think you're going to get less surveys by doing it like that. Because it's not your main device. It's not always going to have a connection, and you're not taking it everywhere. And because of that, you'll get less surveys where you get less money.
Yeah, that's fine. But I think it's good because it would at least give me that entry point back into Android and kind of get a little bit of an understanding of the two. So I think I'm gonna do it. I know I have some Android devices back home, so it's just about a matter of finding out which one. I think I want to find like a decent tablet, maybe even just maybe even just a crappy Android. So anyway, so let's go ahead.
How about your storage system?
Very similar to yours. What I do is I have so very similar to yours, but like times 2, or I guess in the scheme of things, on steroids.
Because you have 4K stuff, you have like higher resolution cameras, so you need way more storage than I need.
So like I'll give you an idea. Right now I have attached to my MacBook Pro, I attach a 4 terabyte hard drive, and I put dates on all my folders. And if you look over here, I basically have like a new folder every day, because if I'm flying a drone, that's going to be like drone content. If I'm doing a vlog, that's going to be vlog content. If I'm doing anything else, pictures. So again, it's all those things. So that's like, I guess, the raw images or raw videos or whatever it is. It's just the actual content gets put onto a 4 terabyte hard drive. Now that physical hard drive gets backed up at home. So there's 2 4 terabyte hard drives, and then the final product. So if I've edited pictures, very similar to you, I will output it to a Google Drive folder from the desktop, which automatically syncs. So let's say if I sync a picture, it automatically gets edited and posted to the Google Drive, and then it's also stored locally. And then I also back up, like I'd say like once every other week or so.
How many hard drives do you have?
I think I've lost count, but I want to say I probably have 7.
I physically own 4, but just for my like vlogs and backing up these podcasts and stuff, it's just 1. The other 2, like one I used to use as a backup when I had Wii. I had hacked Wii games. I had like 150.
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking about like one of my oldest hard drives. It was from back when I lived in Somerset. I have I think it was 256.
It's like a 2 gigabyte hard drive.
No, it's 256, and I remember paying like $250 for it. But it wasn't just like how these hard drives are, like, really small, the size of a phone. It was like a big bulky one, and then on top of that, you had to plug it into a power supply so that you can then. So imagine plugging it into your laptop and then having this big.
And you needed a power supply, too.
You needed a power supply to then back it up just for 256
Now they
gigs.
have, did you see the new Samsung ones? It's 1 terabyte. It's like this big.
I
have a 256 gigabyte card in my phone right now, and it's transflat. It's micro SD. It's like that big.
They just came out with a 512, I think, right?
480.
480?
I think MKBHD tweeted that.
Yeah, something like that. That's going to be cool, I suppose. So, anyway, so that's our backup strategy. Hope that was
thanks
helpful.
for the questions, guys.
Mr.
Tweet us.
Lonely Mango.
Send us your questions.
Or Miss, because we don't know who it is.
What you want to talk about? What did you want us to answer? So, again, this last topic here, it's been a while because we're late on the podcast.
I feel like this is so late. It's not even relevant anymore because we're already talking about the next thing. All right, so this last topic is about the McGregor and Mayweather fight. And spoiler, if you guys
if you haven't seen it already,
Mayweather won. But it's should we even talk about it? Because
we'll talk about it for a little bit.
They're already talking about the next thing.
Our thoughts and what we thought. Maybe they want to know what we're thinking.
30 seconds.
I wanted Mayweather, McGregor to win. Everybody wanted him to win because they just wanted to see Mayweather lose. Yeah. But I knew that Mayweather would win. I totally knew it. I was already betting people money that. So I don't know. I'm happy with the fight. I think the money was worth it. It was crazy that he just got gassed, and I probably wouldn't have stopped the fight. But I get why. It's boxing. It's not UFC. So what do you think?
Same thing. I think the fight stopped early, but at the same time we knew that he was going to lose. But a lot of credit to Conor because he wasn't a boxer. I think he was an amateur boxer at best, and he stepped in the ring with the best boxer in the world, which, again, gives credit to Mayweather for making this happen because he took a calculated risk. He knew he was going to win.
It was a money scheme.
Exactly. And he won. He got like $300 million, and then same thing for Conor. Conor got $100 million. So just think about it. Put me into those numbers, and I'd be like, hell yeah. And I've never boxed. Yeah. I suck. I would get my
I'll
ass
let you
whooped.
put it in the butt.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think that's worth it.
$100 million. Holy crap.
So you would...
I'm totally gay, guys. I'm admitting it.
Finally, he comes out of the closet on this episode.
Well, what about, you're always talking about, I never do anything. # boring life. You just took a trip recently. What? Now you have something to share, right?
We save that for the next podcast?
I feel like we're so behind that we're going to eventually need to catch up. So we might as well start now.
Okay. Let's talk about my trip to Disney. It was fun. It was a ton of fun. Is there anything else?
It was fun.
No, but all right. So I had a lot of fun this summer with my son, and I think we wanted to kind of close it out. I wanted to close it out with something really cool, and it was to kind of bring my son back to Disney, and so we did that. We went to Disney, had a lot of fun. Went to Epcot, went to Tampa. We didn't go to a lot of the things, but I did go on a new ride. So I guess this could hashtag this as like an update and review on the Flight of Passage, which is the newest ride in Disney at Epcot Center. Is that Epcot? Was that Epcot? No, Animal Kingdom. I'm sorry, it was at Animal Kingdom. And here's a little pro tip, right? Because right now, if you have Fast Pass, the wait is still like months out for this ride. And if you don't have Fast Pass, good luck. You're waiting anywhere from 3 to 5 hours just for this ride. The pro tip is get to the park way before it opens. The park opens at 9. Get to the park at like 7:30. Wait online, and as soon as 9 o'clock, and that's what we did. As soon as 9
waiting
o'clock.
online anyways.
Well, but no, now you're not waiting 3.5 hours, right? You're waiting
2.
No, like an hour. But it wasn't bad. Well, what happens if you get there by 7:30, they let you in by 8 to get to the line by, let's say, 8:30, and then you kind of shuffle your way through the line. So again, it's more like an hour and a half wait. Totally worth it. The ride was really cool. Have you been on Soarin'? Do you know what that ride is?
No.
No?
I don't know what that is. It sounds like something from Lord of the Rings.
It's like an interactive ride, but it's really cool. You get in, you kind of...
We went with a 1-year-old, so there wasn't many rides that we went on when we went a couple months ago. We saw Dory, all the characters. I think we did It's a Small World. She was knocked out, sleeping.
After all.
It was kind of good that we didn't have to wait on too many lines.
But,
I don't know. The whole Disney thing, it's cool, and it's obviously an experience for the kids, but it's a racket. It's like, lines and money. It's just really...
It is such a money drain.
I could take somewhere else, have more fun, and spend less money.
Again, it's the money part. I mean, I think as you get older and you realize the importance of building these memories, you're going to see like how awesome it is to go to Disney. Cause
we're going to Hershey. You coming?
I didn't get the invite, bro.
No, you got the invite.
No, I remember seeing something about it on the chat. But anyway, let me talk about this ride because I did say I was going to give a review on it. It is extremely cool. If you know Pandora and Avatar, you're riding it.
Yeah.
You're mimicking that you're riding on a banshee, which is that.
Yeah, one of those dragon thingies.
Yeah. It's incredibly cool how they have it. You sit forward, you lean forward, so as you're leaning on the dragon thing, and it puts you into this huge like globe-like interactive type of screen, and they make it so that you feel like you're 4D.
Flying. Like there's wind 4D. And there's water and there's shaking.
More than that, there's also scent.
Which
is insane because like one of the scenes, I think it was like we were in some type of grassland. You could smell grass. We're like, holy cow!
They've had these for a while. I mean, Avatar, like Pandora, that's new. Yeah, it's a new attraction. But Terminator and all these other rides had it before. The smell, the wind, the water. Alien, I remember had one. It's just
cool. I don't remember going on any of those rides, but it's just cool to actually have it and see it and to kind of live in that moment. So my review is 3 thumbs up.
3 thumbs? Who's your 3rd thumb?
It's my toe thumb. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we're ready to close out the podcast on that note. Oh, we weren't recording.
Yeah.
I kid. I think I kid.
No, we got a lot coming up in September. Oh, Labor Day just passed. We can talk about Labor Day plans. You were in Florida. We got my birthday coming up. We got Hershey Park coming up with the kids. A lot of things going on. Should we save that? What are we doing?
Yeah, I think we're already at the moment where we're up to approaching 40 minutes. So, yeah, I think we're going to close out this podcast with the outro. Are you ready for the outro? Let me get ready. Wait, are you ready for the outro?
I'm ready for the outro.
Okay, I'm going to play the outro for you guys as long as this audio doesn't